Chapter 129. Bigamy, beauty centres, trafficking, classes. This marriage lowered the men's world idolatry somewhat, since they realized that there was nothing to gain anymore. But instead of this, the men's world threw itself into the arms of two other even greater evils, consisting therein that firstly, every just a little flesh-addicted man took for himself two wives, one on the right and another on the left hand. And the king was unable to prevent this, because the men declared that they did this and had to do this only to honour him. And the king, already very weak in the spirit, was unable to object. This was therefore the first great evil which in its spiritual sphere is unfathomable. But the second evil, even greater than the first, was and consisted therein that all the fleshly men, to honour the king even more, wanted exceedingly beautiful wives, yes, as you are used to say, an honourable must-have. But since there are in general, fortunately, much more less beautiful than really beautiful women, and since this was also the case in the city of Hanoch, they thought about means to make women artificially more beautiful. He who seeks soon finds. Thus it was also the case here. They built a women beautification institution, a large building in which several thousands of girls from all over the city, as well as the surrounding countryside and from the 10 cities, were admitted if they only had straight limbs and were of age between 12 and 20 years. In this institution, which was named the King's Honour, the girls were fed with the finest food and drinks, washed with the finest oils, and also received an education where there was little more mentioning of God than is the case nowadays, where the subject of religion in a girls' school, for that matter in all other learning institutions, has shifted to the most insignificant position. It will be said, we cannot yet see the biggest evil in such an institution. Patience. It will come. Whoever wanted to take two wives from this institution had to pay the chairman and director of this institution a significant education fee. And he also had to deliver two new young beautiful girls, and had to agree to pay for them a moderate education and beautification fee. And thirdly, he also had to agree to never allow the newly bought women to do any work, since that could easily harm their acquired beauty. So that everyone was forced to take his wives from this institution, it was, signed by the king, determined that no one can ever appear at the court if he cannot legitimately prove that his wives are in fact from the King's Honour institution. By this the foundation was laid, whereby soon human trafficking, and large class differences emerged, which in turn led to the germination of mutual hatred and contempt, very soon growing into a fully ripe fruit. And the very ground for all this was bigamy, because it is a fruit of fleshly love, whose spiritual evil consequences, as already noticed in the beginning, are incalculable, since through the flesh the enemy of life is given a freest scope. Therefore, every man should refrain from the flesh of women as much as possible, if he wants to reap life. But the woman should not tempt anyone, if she does not want to be condemned, but blessed.